I'm excited that I can talk about this and just get it all out there and let you know my experience on dropping out of college and moving to New York. You have to watch all the way through to understand the whole story, so let's get right to it. Make sure to subscribe down below before you even start watching, because that would be awesome. Also, I tore apart a Vogue magazine, 2018 of December magazine edition, and I'm sorry, Vogue. If you wanted to work with me, just forget this whole thing. I didn't want my wall to be in it. It's kind of a not a good color. So here's where we're gonna start. In high school, I was never really told that I had other options other than going to a traditional college, like in-state, out-of-state, that kind of thing. Like community college was kind of looked down upon. Just gonna say that to start out. But now it's getting to the point where more people are doing it and it's just a great all-around option. So I went to college. I was really ready to move out, but when I got there, it was weird and not what I expected. It just didn't feel right for me at all. I really didn't like the routine of college. Like the whole privacy thing, there wasn't much privacy. I loved who I was rooming with. I loved like my dorm mates and all that, but it was just different not having any alone time. It felt more like a summer camp type thing to me than an actual going to school kind of thing. Someone actually told me this and it kind of stuck with me and kind of explained maybe why I felt like this some of the time. I can't remember who said it to me, but they said when you go to college for the first time, it's the first time you're around people who don't love you. They like you, they want to be your friends, but your family, you've been with them, they love you. Your friends, you've been with them, they love you. You've been with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever. But then you go into this whole new sea of people who you might be acquainted with and make friends with, but they're just kind of new to you. And I freaked out a bit. So I started to have this crazy idea to move to New York City because I love New York City. My boyfriend lives there. He plays basketball on Long Island. He's the whole reason. No, I'm just kidding. So kind of not really the city, but close enough. So my little crazy booty said, oh, maybe I can live with him in his dorm. My parents didn't believe me. It was that crazy of an idea, and my friends, my dorm mates, and my best friend who was my roommate was kind of just like, okay. Kind of probably thought maybe she won't do it, maybe she will. Like they had no clue. I was like, I think about like what would I say to someone that said that? I am probably not a good one to ask, but I'd be like, go for it, honestly, just do it. It had to be like maybe 2 months, no, it was like a month into the semester or something, and I started looking for places to stay in New York and jobs to have in New York. Without a degree, like just dropping out of college, I surprisingly found like a bunch of things to do, places to stay, booked my flight, flew to New York. I love flying already, but when I was in the air, going to somewhere that I was just like, I'm leaving everything behind, I'm going to New York. So it felt so good. And then I landed. And my boyfriend thought I was coming a few weeks later, and then I told him at the airport, I was like, I'm coming now, so get ready. And he's of course like, why? By this time, I had like stopped going to my classes kinda, I was just fed up. I got a job like the second day I was there. Not gonna go into specifics, it was not the best job, but I got a job that said there's a degree required for this job. So that was kind of cool. I don't know, I was just kind of proving stuff to myself. I found a place to stay as well that was not my boyfriend's tiny little dorm, but that was kind of not awkward, but it just didn't feel completely right. I think in the back of my head, I knew that I was gonna not go fully through with this. So that's the story of how I dropped out of college and moved to New York for 4 days. The next like day and a half and 2 days and 3 days and month was kind of insane. I came back, and as you can imagine, people were kind of like, what's wrong with you? They were not mean to me. They were just wondering why I would do such a rash thing, such an impulse thing. Side note, this is what impulse means. This is a picture of me. I am that word. The withdrawal date was right like around when this all happened. So me and my mother drove back to the college. We got it all figured out. Luckily the teachers, professors, people were really nice, and they said this has happened before, like people do this. I was like, okay, good. We got all my classes back. I didn't miss much. It was only 4 days. Started taking the classes again, and everyone was a lot more supportive and kind of just telling me like, you can stick this out until the end of the semester and then we can figure out something you can do. I also hated not working, and that was another reason college was kind of a shock for me, because I was just surrounded by people who didn't work. I wasn't working at the time. I had a little side retail job or whatever it was, and that was a lot different from like having a professional like social media job. Like that was a real shocker to me. So the semester's over. I made it through the classes except math, dropped math, have always dropped math, hate math, screw math. So we figured out what to do next, and I started going to community college in my town, and it has been so much better than going to the other college. I'm taking all online classes, so that means I can work, travel to see my boyfriend in New York, all at the same time. I also started my own photography business, which I didn't plan on, like that just kind of happened. But that has honestly, I wonder sometimes if that was maybe a part of the purpose of going away from traditional college, is going to community college and taking online classes. God knows what he's doing. And all these little doors opened up because of this thing that seemed kind of rough and difficult at the time. I'm also on track to graduate earlier than my entire class. So I think that's pretty cool. You do not have to go to a traditional college. That is not what you have to do. I think counselors in high school are getting better at letting kids know that they don't have to go to an in-state, out-of-state kind of college. They don't have to do all that. You can even take a break and see what you want to do, because once you spend all of that money and then you go and you don't know what you want to do anymore, that's when it's going to start freaking you out, and that's when you might not finish. But if you took a gap year, or if you took some extra time to look at other options, then it might be easier when you make a decision. I'm actually transferring to a 4-year college from the community college in a little program they have, and that's how I'll be finishing earlier. My online classes have been amazing because I love working, I love doing stuff at the same time as classes, and I feel like this is just a much better situation. I love photography, I love everything. To sum it up, I could have most definitely stayed in New York and had kind of an average kind of life, but it wouldn't have been the best job that I could get, and it could have taken a toll on my relationship. So I do plan on moving back to New York. If you know me, you know I love New York. This time I'll be in much better standing. I'll have a degree, I'll have more experience in my job now. I don't know. It was a cool experience. If I didn't do it, if I didn't mess everything up for a little bit, then I would not have my business. I might still be at that college, but I don't think I would be as happy. It's difficult to speak for everybody, so I'm speaking for myself. I don't regret any of it, and also have to shout out to Jordan. Remembering this has been really funny, and I cannot believe how sane you are and how sane you keep me and how sane you keep everybody. You're a good dude. Thanks for listening to my story, and subscribe, turn the notifs on, like. You can comment too. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day.